Bob Bianchi's here, a criminal defense attorney, former head New Jersey county prosecutor in the state of New Jersey. Pressure, but practically speaking, she doesn't want to go. She won't have to.
Absolutely. She's in there. She's an officer elected, duly elected. There could probably be a process to have her expelled. I'm sure there is. You just don't hold these jobs if you're completely incompetent. But that would be a long and exhaustive process. But what's going on here, Shep, I'm thinking of myself when I'm listening to this story about what would happen if the 44 police agencies that I was in control of had a vote of no confidence. Madam District Attorney, you are no longer capable of effectively doing your job. And what is most disconcerting, the police are saying that the Smollett case and the R. Kelly case are the straws that broke the camel's back. But there has been a history of her not just decriminalizing, but failure to prosecute cases where the community are victims of crime because she calls this, quote-unquote, criminal justice reform. Shep, criminal justice reform does not mean a get-out-of-jail-free or get-out-of-prosecution-free card. If you commit a crime, you can certainly look at other avenues other than incarceration, but you have to hold people accountable because what the police are saying in this statement and the statement that they issued, it is now lawlessness. There's no question about the fact the bad guys and girls out there in Cook County know we can steal from stores with impunity. We can have drug offenses with impunity. We can go out and commit crimes, make the communities less safe, which is the police and prosecutors' ultimate responsibility, because they won't even file charges against you.
It has gotten to that point. Well, that's not just a bunch of bluster. That's a real thing.
It's not a joke. Listen, when I was prosecutor, we would take the cases that come in. If you violate the law, I swore an oath. My oath was to enforce the laws of the state of New Jersey, not to simply disregard them with a hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. That may get you votes in parts of your constituency, but once you get into office, I was appointed by the governor, that's how they do it. I believe in appointments as opposed to elections. But either way, when you get in, you've got to do the job to keep those communities safe, and you just can't disregard the law. And that's what these cops are saying. Smollett and R. Kelly are just a symptom of the corrosion and corruption in Cook County DA's office.
This kind of friction between those who keep the peace and those who do the prosecuting is never good for the people.
It's a delicate balance, Shep, because as a prosecutor, I also have to make sure that the police are acting in an efficient and ethical way, that they are not using or abusing their power. So there's always that little thing there. But you know what told me a lot? I said this to you last week, where you knew that something bad was going on here. When these cops worked 1,700 hours with the prosecutor's office in the Smollett case, that they decided there's enough evidence to bring charges, that the prosecutor reviewing those charges said, you know what? Let's put it into the grand jury because we believe a crime has been committed. You get an indictment, which means the grand jurors believe there was sufficient evidence to establish probable cause. And then you don't even notify your law enforcement partners that worked on that very case 1,700 hours worth of time that, by the way, we're going to dismiss it because we think that's the right way to dispose of the case. Well, what did you charge bringing it into the grand jury for in the first place if that's the way you felt? Something is not right here.
Bob Bianchi, Trace Gallagher, and the Live News Conference, much more as the coverage continues on this.